Today we're going to talk about the common core principle of choice. It's cool to know that we are free to make our own choices in any situation, in any circumstance, and that's what gives us power. Everything we talk about here at Principle-Based Living is interconnected. Everything that we discuss relates with the other things that we talk about. And it's pretty hard sometimes to separate the concepts, the principles, or the ideas out because they all kind of mesh and are all connected. So today we're talking about principles again, and just a quick overview. A principle is a law. So just like in the world in which we live, there are natural laws that govern this world, such as gravity. So gravity is a law that exists and operates all of the time, whether we know about it, whether we understand it, or whether we agree with it or not. And just as there are natural laws that govern this world in which we live, there are laws that govern things like happiness and relationships and success. So we've talked about the principle of accountability. Today we're talking about the principle of choice. And I believe there are three foundational principles that govern everything that we do. The first one being accountability. Today we're going to talk about choice. And the third, which you can watch in another video, is the principle of control. So the principle of choice says that in any circumstance or any situation, we always get to choose what we think about it, what we feel about it, and what we do in that situation or behavior. So the other thing that's connected with this, though, is our beliefs. And in previous videos, we've talked about how beliefs drive our behaviors, and how important it is to make sure that our beliefs are based on principle or truth if we want to get the outcomes in our life that we want to have. So let's talk about choice for a minute. Viktor Frankl is one of the people I think that kind of pioneered the understanding of choice, and that was through his experience in the concentration camp, where he realized that regardless of the situation that he was in, he still got to choose how he responded to the other people that he interacted with, both the other prisoners and the prison guards. He got to choose how he interpreted that experience and the emotions and feelings that he had as well. He also learned that regardless of the treatment that he was receiving, he was able to choose how he saw those individuals that were mistreating him. He got to decide whether he felt and expressed love towards them, or hate towards them, or fear. And so, again, if you think about this, principles are self-evidently true. And if you consciously think about this, you will see and recognize that choice is something that cannot be taken away from us. Now, our liberty and so the ability to do certain things, that can be limited from us. But my ability to choose how I want to respond in that circumstance or situation always resides within me. Now, here's a couple of things to think about of how understanding this principle can make a big difference in our life. I believe that we have many subconscious beliefs that are always operating and influencing how we respond to things. So if we talk about addiction for a minute, let's say that I have an addiction to alcohol, and that drinking alcohol has caused problems for me in my life. And so I make a decision that I want to give it up. But if I have a belief that I have to give it up, I feel that there is kind of an internal resistance to that. So there's something that that part of me wants. So I want to be able to continue to drink, but it creates problems for me. And so now I have this belief that I can't drink any longer. Think about in your own life when somebody tells you what to do or what not to do, or you feel like you have to do something. Think about how you respond to that. Typically, there's some resistance to it. And so it's like, because I can't do it, I want to do it. So if I have this thought in my head that I can no longer drink, well, there's another part of me that may be saying, but I want to. We can change that up by realizing that, no, we have a choice. I can continue to drink, to use alcohol if I want, but the real question is, do I want to? So we have to think further through the process and realize that, no, I have a choice. I can drink if I want to. I'm free to do that. But the truth is, I don't want to, because of the long-term consequences that that's creating for me in my life. So just understanding that even in situations where there's part of us that wants to give up a certain behavior, we don't have to. We're free to continue to exercise that behavior as long as we want. And oftentimes by realizing that, it frees us up. And as soon as that coercion or that control goes away to where we realize we're free to make our own choices, we make better choices. So this is a second of the foundational principles, which is choice. And basically it's just to know that nobody can take choice away from us. Our external situations or conditions may be limited, but in any situation, we get to choose our thoughts, our emotions, and our behaviors. Understanding this gives you more power over your life and the ability to take control over your life. Thanks again for watching. If you have comments or questions, go ahead and put those down below. Visit our website, like the video, and subscribe to our channel.